Thunderstorms can be scary experiences for our dogs, but there are a few things that we can do to help them out to get them through the thunderstorms without it being too traumatic for our pups. The first of which is to be right next to our dogs and communicate through physical touch and through our voices. Being able to coach our dogs through what's happening is going to help calm a lot of those dogs down. Now, of course, not everything is going to work for every dog, but your dog trusts in you. Your dog loves you. Your dog knows that you are its safe space. And so you need to be there to comfort your dog just like you would comfort a small child. So sitting next to them on the floor, on the couch, wherever, and putting your arms around them, petting them, soothing them, giving them a little massage on their shoulders or especially on their ears. The tips of their ears can be really good places to calm them down, and making sure that you're touching them and talking them through it. You can even go as far as to say, well, that's thunder. This is what thunder is. This is lightning. That's what this is. Like you would talk to a small child. The more that you talk to them and explain what's happening and what they can be expecting, the calmer they're going to get. Now, we know not everything is going to be super conducive to each specific dog. So your dog may not want to be touched. Your dog may want to hide. So giving them a place to go that is sheltered, like a crate or some type of thing that kind of feels like a cave, might actually work better for different types of dogs. I had a dog once that had a ton of anxiety, and there was a period of her time, it was like 3 or 4 years right in the middle of her life, where she just felt so much more secure when she was in a small space. And she went from sleeping like normal on her dog bed to having to be in a little pop-up pup tent every single night for a good couple of years in the middle of her life. And that's where she felt the most secure, when she was not directly with me. And so you want to provide your dog a safe, enclosed space for them to be. And if your dog is the type that bolts or gets really nervous or kind of panics, having somewhere that you can close them in so you know that they are safe, they're not going to run wild around your house, escape through a door, or cause problems to themselves or to your home or to you, it can actually be really helpful. So having some form of crate or cave or space that they can go that is enclosed, that feels comfortable to them, and bonus points for having a door that shuts so you can keep them there, can be very, very helpful. Now, another one that is really significant and impactful is to override the sound of the storm. So if it is storming but your power is still on, turn on the TV and turn the volume up a little bit. You can also do something like the radio. You can turn on music on your phone. One thing that I really like to have around the house, just in case I need it, is a baby sound machine that plays sounds like the ocean or white noise that I can then turn up and override the noise of the storm. Bonus points if you put it closer to the window where that noise is coming in. So obviously you can't move a television unless you have a rolling screen like I do, or you are going to have to, kind of inch that television over a little bit if you can. But if you have a baby sound machine or a radio or a computer or a phone that you can put nearer to the window, that's going to override more of the noise. Because if you have a window here, your dog's in the middle, and then the sound is over here in the interior of your house, we still have all the sound coming from over here. So you want to get that sound source between your dog and the windows or the exterior walls, if at all possible. So making sure that you have something for them to listen to that kind of overrides at least some of the storm is incredibly helpful. Obviously, if your power is out, that's not going to be an option for you, but maybe you can get creative. What other things can you do? Can you sing? Can you hum really loud? Can you talk loudly? Can you have conversations? Do something to try to override that noise. You also want to give them something to do. So this is a really great time to pull out a brand new toy. Smart dog parents will have a couple of new toys just kind of tucked away for emergency situations where your dog needs something new and novel to get their attention. So pulling out a new toy could be really valuable to them. You can also have things that they can chew on to get their attention. So if you've got a good chew, a healthy chew, not something that's going to be unhealthy or toxic to them, so do your research on that one, that's a great time to pull it out. Or a toy that they can heavy chomp on while you are going through this to give them something to do. I also like giving things like ice cubes. You can take celery or carrots and freeze them in your freezer so it takes them a little bit longer to get through it. This is also a really good opportunity for you to create some kind of ice treat where you are taking a bowl and you're putting water in it or bone broth in it or something that you can freeze with little pieces of something. It can be their dog food. It can be human food that is safe for dogs to eat, like celery or carrots or apples or whatever. You can put in toys that they have to then dig out of the ice. It depends on what you want to do. And we've got lots of videos on creating those ice treats. And that's going to give them something to occupy their time. It will keep them hydrated. And the crunching of something that's frozen overrides some of that thunderstorm noise. So you want to give them something that allows them to be active. Now, another thing that you can be doing is fun experiences. We've talked a lot about ball pits here on the channel because it's such good enrichment, but you can do other things as well. I particularly like a ball pit for a thunderstorm because once you put your pool out and you put your balls in it and then you spread some of their dog food in it for them to go hunting for, the balls crashing around will make noise and override the storm. So anything that you can do that is louder, like a crinkle toy, like a water bottle in a toy that is made for those water bottles to be crinkly crunched in, those things are going to be great choices. Anything that they have to chew on that crunches to eat, good choices. Anything that is going to allow them to have something to focus on rather than just panic over the storm is a great choice. So you want to make sure that you are actively communicating with your dog, that you are touching them and securing them and talking them through this, if that's the type that they want to be, or that they have somewhere safe and secure to be, that you know that they are safe and secure so that everybody is calmer during this storm. You can also, cover things with blankets and you can dampen the noise a little bit. Overriding the noise with the TV, the radio, your phone, your singing, your talking, your whatever is going to be incredibly beneficial. And then having something for them to do, particularly something that kind of crunches and makes some noise and keeps them occupied and is newer to them. So it's not something you do every single day. It's something for special occasions, is going to help you through that storm. Obviously, storms are going to be different lengths, different variations of these things, and your dog is going to be unique and individual. So test through these things, see what works best for your dog, and then be prepared for the next storm. And the more that you do this, the more that you secure your dog, the more you talk them through it and teach them how to navigate this, the less worried they are going to be in the future as these things happen. Bonus pro tip. We don't just want our dogs to experience thunderstorms when they pop up. We want to prepare our dogs for these things. We've talked a lot about conditioning our dogs and desensitizing them to things like thunderstorms and fireworks and traffic and all of those things that could potentially set off our dogs and cause fear and panic inside of them. We want to desensitize them to thunderstorms as well. So when you do not have a thunderstorm, go on YouTube, on your television or on your computer or your phone, and you're going to pull up thunderstorms. You're looking actively for videos that are longer, like an hour or 2 hours, and you start the volume very low so that it's just barely audible background noise, and then you go about your day. As you continue to do things, you just slightly increase the volume a little bit at a time until we build up to a louder noise. Starting small and through over the course of an hour, 2 hours, a couple of hours, we're building it up to thunderstorm level so that our dogs are experiencing it just a little without having to be afraid. And as we move it up and up and up, we're going to desensitize them and condition them to this so that it's not a fearful situation. And you do this again and again and again. It doesn't have to be back to back. You don't have to do it today and tomorrow and the next day, but try doing it multiple times a month until they don't even blink. And then test it out with a real thunderstorm. How are they doing? How are they navigating it? How are they handling it? If you know it's coming and you know your dog is a little bit afraid of it, plan in advance. Turn on that YouTube video on low half an hour before that storm shows up, or an hour before, and build it up to thunderstorm level. So by the time the storm rolls in, the TV or whatever source you're using has already built up that noise, and they understand it's not a scary thing because we're still vacuuming around the house. We're still doing our work. We're still doing whatever it is we do on a normal day, and it acts as that background noise. So even though all of a sudden it's now outside, it's connected to that you just built up over the course of an hour or so before that storm. You can desensitize your dog. If you work hard on it, not every dog is going to be able to be desensitized, but it's a really good option to try to help your dog to be a little less fearful when situations like thunderstorms pop up. Drop your questions on this down below and follow along because we talk about desensitizing your dogs to thunderstorms and fireworks and traffic and traveling in the car and all of those things that you need to do to live your best life with your dog and help your dog to not be fearful through some of those scarier situations. And we will see you in our upcoming daily episodes here on the channel, helping you to level up for your pup to give them the best life possible.